New York City just had their Support Israel Day parade on Sunday. Hundreds of thousands turned out with Israeli flags, marching peacefully down the streets of New York, proclaiming their support for the Jewish state. And then they ran into somebody holding up a sign declaring his support for killing all the hostages now. Is this free speech or is this incitement to murder? The Israel Day Parade in New York drew enormous crowds. I mean, for blocks and blocks and blocks, actually miles long, of people demonstrating support and love of Israel. That's not my question. My question is, this past Sunday, there were counter-protesters protesting for Hamas, literally, for Hamas, including one who held up a sign, "Kill the hostages now." It's gotten a lot of airplay, and I'm wondering how you feel about free speech when it crosses the line into incitement to murder.
Yeah, I mean, you're making exactly the right point there, Barry, which is, yes, the First Amendment does protect freedom of speech, assembly, the press, and of course, religion and the right to petition the government redress of grievances. But the exceptions to that include incitement to immediate violence. And that's what a sign like that placard seems to show, seems to indicate. And I think that crosses the line. Protest all you like, but immediate incitement to violence, that violates, I think that still violates U.S. law.
So if you know the answer, let me know. I've been trying to figure this out. Commentator after commentator, and I mean lots of them, have gone out into the streets, into these crowds, and saying, are you in favor of from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free? And they, oh, yeah, absolutely. What river is that? Nobody seems to know. What sea is that? Nobody seems to know. When they support the fact that they're queers for Palestine, they don't understand, it seems, that queers in Palestine end up dead in Palestine. In fact, I've shown video after video where it's explained from Sharia that it's an abomination and is punishable by the death penalty. No exceptions, no appeal, no apology. You get put to death. I don't quite have a grasp on this ignorance supporting so much hate. Do you have any theory on it?
Well, two things come to mind for me. One is that our students, especially at the university level, but we've got to think on down through the K through 12 levels too, they're not actually being taught much of anything outside of CRT and DEI and all the rest of the alphabet soup stuff. They don't know. They truly do not know why they are in the streets, on the campuses, protesting. What river, what sea. To find these places in the Middle East on a map would be beyond them. But the second thing to me is that those demonstrations, without that knowledge, without even knowing what they are actually protesting about, specificity in any way, I think point to an awful, awful underlying Jew hatred, anti-Semitism. That's the basis for it. Whether they know the river, the sea, the location of Israel on a map or anything else in the region, they don't know that. But what is bursting forth, and a way that I thought we would not see this level, this viciousness in this country. I did not expect the level of viciousness or, the size of these protests. But what's bursting out is anti-Semitism. It is Jew hatred. Doesn't matter that they don't know the river, the sea, or where on earth Israel is, or Gaza, or anything else. That doesn't matter. What they know, or what they think they know, is they hate Jews. And that's a real problem that we need to deal with.